G'day guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today, my guest is four-time World Muay Thai champion Mostafa Abdollahi. Mosi has had 94 professional fights and over 250 amateur fights. He is a former world-ranked Muay Thai fighter for WMC and WBC. He was the IPCC World Muay Thai Champion 2015 in Hong Kong, the WMC World Muay Thai Champion 2012 in Hong Kong. He starred in the reality TV show The Challenger Muay Thai. He was WMC World Muay Thai Champion 2011 in Malaysia, the IFMA World Muay Thai Champion 2007 in Thailand, the WMF Asia Muay Thai Champion 2007 in Macau, the WMF Prince Cup Muay Thai Champion 2005 in Thailand, and he was the Iran Kickboxing and Muay Thai National Champion between 1999 and 2010. Since hanging up his gloves in 2015, Mosi has been coaching, training, and supporting all kinds of fighters in the Australian Muay Thai community. And now, with the opening of his brand new gym, Epic Muay Thai, in Sydney's eastern suburbs, he is even more primed to do so. Mosi is not only my Muay Thai coach, but also my friend. He is someone I deeply respect and continue to learn from. Naturally, we have a great conversation, and it was nice to not have to keep my guard up for once. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, but for now, please enjoy episode 8 of Picking Bones with Hugh L. Jones. Mosi, welcome to the podcast, brother. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, mate.
Mustafa, I don't want to get this wrong, but Mostafa Abdollahi.
Abdollahi.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I can't got used to it. That's why I get everyone call me Mosi now.
Yeah.
Like whenever time I used to compete, going around in the world, the ring persons like calling my name, Mustafa. I was like, mate, just call me Mustafa. Persian Mos, and that's it.
Look, it's an unusual name, but it's a great name,
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
is.
just used to calling you Mosi. So
That's fine, mate.
dude, this is really exciting to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We had a great training session this morning. I've missed our training sessions because I've been away.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about the new gym. We tried it out this morning. I know you've been kind of in there a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Taking some clients, but how's that all going? When's the official opening date?
So technically, just all these things happened just so quickly, and I was like, wasn't expecting to be this quick going on. So it just happened like that, and ended up asking my landlord, can I start it earlier? And he was like, sure. And I started with some personal training, and the actual opening day, it's gonna be in few weeks. It's gonna be on 23rd November, and which is on my birthday.
Nice. That's a good birthday
so
present.
kind of like made them together. That's exactly right. So I was thinking like, what better birthday present I can give it to myself than just opening my own self gym,
And you've had such a long career as a fighter, not just in Muay Thai, but as a fighting coach, as a PT, as a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Is this your first gym that's completely yours? This is the first one.
Yes,
That's
it is
amazing.
the first one.
That's amazing.
And I am fucking excited. Shit.
You can definitely swear on this podcast.
Okay, all right.
That's totally okay.
So I am fucking excited. And
yes.
I can't wait.
Yes. Awesome, man. Awesome. And what led you to this moment? I mean, you've traveled so much, and I've got some amazing notes about your career, and you fought in Japan, you fought in Hong Kong, you fought in Thailand, you fought in Persia, where you're from. Iran?
Yeah, that's
Persia,
it, yeah.
same thing.
Same
thing. I wonder why this hasn't happened any sooner. Like, I wonder why. Is it just because you've been focusing on being a fighter? Basically, you haven't had the time to settle down into a particular gym.
I guess when the things are happening in the right time, in the right place, it was just, I think this was the moment. And to be honest, before that, I didn't want a responsibility. I just want to be more free. I can travel more. I can look after my dog. I can just enjoy the life more than having a responsibility to own the gym. And because opening the gym, it sounds easy, but actually running a gym and making sure deliver the best to the customer. That's the most important things. And I kind of like, I was shying away from it a little bit. I was kind of like holding back. I was like, do I want that responsibility? And kind of like, I got to the conclusion now. I was like, you know what? Do it now. You know what? And it just happened. And here we are.
It's such a beautiful...
Epic Muay Thai Academy coming
Epic
very
Muay Thai
soon.
Academy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We should have a cheers to it.
Definitely,
I think that's
we
a really
can.
good segue.
Yeah, that's it.
I was sitting and thinking, God, when are we going to open these beers?
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, brother. Don't usually drink on the podcast, but every now and again.
Today, yeah.
100%.
I actually got a...
It's Friday and we
for
have
you,
to,
mate.
Oh my God, you didn't.
Yeah, I brought you a small bag of the gift.
Oh, dude, that's
from
so
the
cool.
Epic Muay Thai Academy.
Thank you
There's
so
a couple
much.
of goodies the members gonna receive when they sign up. The first 50 members gonna sign in.
Oh, dude.
There's a few stuff in there. I didn't try to full it up. There's a boxing gloves add up to that too. Is it like a small
That's
t-shirt,
amazing.
like a cap, bottle of water, and a key ring, and
Goodies.
a
Look at this.
cap.
Epic Muay. That's a good bottle too.
Yeah. Try to making sure everything is the good quality for eastern suburb, you know?
Yeah, of
We live in
course.
eastern suburb, you know?
Dude, that's so sick.
Thanks,
I love
mate.
this, man. Thank you so much. Wow. What else
My
is in here?
absolute pleasure, mate. And a sweat towel.
Sweat towel.
Yeah.
God, what a good welcome gift for members.
And a
Little
key ring.
That's awesome, dude.
Basically, add up to that, it would be a proper boxing gloves and a hand wrap.
Amazing.
Says that pretty much is gonna be full on. Like you saw now, you don't need anything else. You just gotta basically carry that bag, a little Muay Thai short, and that's all you gotta do.
That's
you know?
sick. That's really cool, dude. I mean, and look, you can never have too many hand wraps.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. You know how many I have at home. Thankfully, I don't train often with the hand wrap anymore. I used to have like about 6-7 pair, just using it like a daily wash. You know what's it
It's
like
a
when you come
nightmare.
out of the washing machine too.
Just this big ball of wraps, and you got
Yeah, I
to
can
sit
give you
there for an
tips
hour.
how to do that better. So to get a small bag like those net bag, and then just chuck in a bag, zip it up, chuck in a washing machine. So it's not gonna crawling all to your clothes and stuff
Of course.
anymore. You know,
It's a very simple
That's the thing.
solution. I'm pretty well domesticated, but I didn't think about that. That's
yeah.
I need to get into that.
Now
That's
you
good.
know that.
Man, well, look, I'm really stoked for you. I'm really stoked to be going to a new gym. I mean, you know, I train around a lot in different spots, and I've just come from Thailand, and I was there, and I've loved training there, and I've loved training at 8 Limbs. It's a fantastic gym, and I probably will still train there a bit as well. But,
Yeah.
you know, the new spot's fantastic, and I can't wait to see it all finish. Right by Rushcutters Bay, right by the water. Man, killing the game.
It's a very good location. Like to be honest, it just come out of nowhere. I wasn't planning to go there because I talked to the landlord and he wasn't happy about the thing. So I started looking elsewhere and ended up I was about this close to Sauna in Zetland, and then just happened all of a sudden. He called me. He's like, "Oh yeah, you can come back." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And it like literally happened in space of like 10 days, and I was like, "Okay, here we are." Best location, 5 minutes walking from Edgecliff station, just down the road. And then in Rushcutters Bay Park, I can just cross the road. You're in the Rushcutters Park.
Yeah, dude,
I
you
did
did
a few lap running there already last week. It's
Beautiful.
fantastic.
And you take some group classes down there if they want the fresh air.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the plan for it later on in the future. Like we can do some like outdoor session. When it's a good day, like it's gonna be tomorrow, nice and sunny, so we can do some like outdoor sessions. And eventually, like when the business grow, this is one of the things I'm gonna do. We have some indoor classes going on at the same time. We can some outdoor sessions too as a part of the membership we have. It's just one step at a time, and it's just gonna all happen in
That's
very, very soon.
so
Yeah.
cool. And are you going to have are you going to aim to have some pro fighters, or not pro, but like some competition level fighters in the Sydney Muay Thai scene? Like, you're going to have some people actually compete under your name, under your
For sure.
banner? Yeah.
But like myself, I used to compete in the world class competitions, like, and people expecting from me, I have a proper fight team, and I done it in so many other gyms. I used to working for them. I have people fight under my names and training with me. They were one world title, become Australia champion, and that's what I was good at. And now I can actually passing on my knowledge to the other people, and starting getting those people into the fight scene. building up the fight team. This is just a next step for me. But I just want to open the gym first, start and going, and definitely fight team is in top of my list.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What's it like being someone like yourself, who's had all these amazing achievements? I mean, world Muay Thai champion a number of times. I mean, I'll put it all in the intro actually, but you know, what's it like to go from being in the ring and being a pro fighter yourself to being side ring, yelling instructions at a younger fighter, younger in their career, and do you get sort of frustrated? Do you get angsty, like, I want to get in there and I'll show you how to do it?
You know what's the thing? Now I know how my coaches was feeling the time I used to compete and not listening to them. And when I'm going in the corner and I tell the guy, I was like, come on, mate, do this, do that. He was like, yeah, and go there completely, do different thing. And I'm like, and it's actually remind me of myself in the ring back in the time when I was competing, and my coach was coming in the corner. I was like, you know a spin kick, and slapped me in the face. Trainer Gay, probably everyone know him on the social media. He's massive on the social media.
You were throwing too many spin kicks.
I have one of the fights. I did the spin kicks, and then he asked me, I tell you no spin kick, and he slapped me hard in the face. And I was like, okay, sure, sorry. I was like, well, like I was supposed to like listening to the guy, but I wasn't listening. But it's just part of the fighting, you know, and that's part of the experience you're gonna gain through the fights you're gonna go. And it's just one step at a time. I'm a big believer of that. You just gotta go one step at a time, learning, experience it, and then you're gonna reach the high level, you know. But it's not easy. In the first few fights I had, oh my God, tell me about it. I did not very enjoy to be in that ring.
Dude, I mean, like, I love the training. I love training with you. I did a little bit of light sparring in Thailand just now. It's such a great thing to learn. It's great exercise. And I like getting a little bit physical too. I don't mind taking a couple of shots. I don't mind giving a couple of shots. But watching a pro fight and seeing what those guys go through is terrifying.
Big difference, isn't it?
Big difference. And elbows and knees, and they get cut, and they get broken nose, and they get broken bones, and it's just, I love it as a sport.
That's the fun part of it.
I know. Well, it's
That's
fun.
the fun part of it.
It's fun to watch. You don't want to be the guy on the receiving end of that stuff.
No, you don't. It obviously feels more better when you're elbowing someone than actually receiving it. Tell me about it.
Have you
many cuts in my face?
Taken many injuries? Have you gotten many injuries from fighting?
Technically, the biggest injuries I had, probably I've broken my hand, my nose a few times, my knuckles, probably rib broken in one of the fights I had, my foot broken, my toes dislocated a few times, put them back in myself. And yeah, I got a broken rib. Is broken in 2011 in one of my fights in that reality TV show I was. And I got that in the first round, and I was like in so much pain instantly. And I had the second rounds coming in, like in less than 30 seconds. My coach was like, oh, you're right. And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like, you need to win this fight. And I was like, okay, all right. I went there. I have no idea how the fuck I win that fight. I knocked the guy out.
Wow.
And lucky. Otherwise, I couldn't sleep that night. But that's just one of the things in Muay Thai. Like, you know.
Did he know that he'd broken your rib?
Probably he didn't know, because I always put a poker face on when I used to compete. Doesn't matter. My foot got broken in one of the fight in second round, and I had 5 rounds fight. And I just constantly kicking with the same hand. Legs is broken. It's not fun, but that's why we are father. That actually one of the things I was going to talk about as a father, the resilience. That's just one of the things you building up to yourself as a character, as a father. It's not just only you choose to be a fighter, to go fight, train hard, this. No, actually resilient. You got to be resilient as a fighter. It's not easy to be, and you got to build that character in yourself. So, and in one of those fights, I had so many of them like that. The fight not gonna go over the way you want it, and can you just say, sorry, I was planning to do these things? No, you just gotta roll with the punches, figure it out. What the fuck you gonna do? And sometimes end up it worked out, and sometimes it's not. You know what I mean?
I mean, and that's such a, I think, from the fighters that I've met and spoken to, they're always very calm. They're always, you know, they're usually much more relaxed in life in general. I think because they have such a stressful existence in the ring that they try to, that they use the discipline and the mental toughness that it takes to do that in all of their life, in everyday life. I mean, if you can get into a ring with a professional fighter and fight him or her and win, or even lose, but if you have the guts to do that, stare somebody at the other side of that ring and fight them for 5 rounds, there's not much else in life that can throw at you that you can't handle.
No, that's exactly right. Like, it's like a daily basis in a life. Like, basically, when you're fighting, you're actually learning how to handle the pressure. You know, when someone's trying to put on you, staying calm, staying composed. And imagine the same things happen in a life. When the things are happening, you're stressing. You remember, actually, you need to take a deep breath in, sit back and relax and learn how to handle that pressure. These are the top of the things you can learn in the ring. Obviously, you are. But not everyone can figure out these things in the ring. Some people just coming in once or twice, then that's it, because they can't handle those things and they don't know how to address it and how to kind of like keep going with the punches and do the things. But one of the things you can learn as a father, the mental toughness, where you mentioned it. But I think one of the biggest things I learned in martial arts to be humble, you know, because you mentioned the people as a father, they're very calm, relaxed. I think that's just come from the, obviously you traveled to Thailand before, you know what's it like, the Thai cultures, which is have a big impact on actually Muay Thai, you know, and people in the street walking, they know how to fight, but they are such a calm people. They're so relaxed. And that's one of the biggest things I learned. As a fighter, you not have to be loud. You not have to go out and just shout at the people saying, yeah, I can do this. But because you deep down in yourself, you know you can. And that's actually make you to be more humble. You know what I mean?
100%.
And that's kind of like a calm you down more. Like when I was younger, obviously when I was like about 14, 15, before I started martial arts, like I grew up in such a tough background. Is the people there, is just a downside of the Tehran, is like people just fighting with a knife and stabbing each other. So I grew up in that basically neighborhood.
Yeah, wow.
And it's kind of like one of the reasons I started martial arts was that, because I want to look after myself. Like any things that happen, I want to look after myself. If something happened, I want to. And I used to having the fights like back and forward every couple of days with this guy, with that guy. And then when you're getting into the martial arts, you're just learning actually how to handle yourself more. You don't need to do that anymore.
And how to avoid a fight, I think, as much as you can, because you know
you can hurt someone actually.
Well, see, this is the thing. I think it's what I think with martial arts or with fighting in general, whether it's on the street, specifically if it's on the street, if you know how to fight, you really know how to fuck someone up. You don't want to fight because you don't want to put somebody in a hospital. You don't want to go. You might kill somebody. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to. It's maybe they're robbing you out of desperation. Maybe they have a terrible life and they're addicted to drugs, or they have mental health issues, or they're incredibly on the poverty line.
Yeah,
and they're suffering, and it's still not okay. And like fuck those people also. But if you are capable of putting somebody in the hospital, you don't want to do that. Not really.
You don't need to anymore. One of the things is about martial arts, when you go training, you kind of like empty the tank in a ring or empty the tank in every sessions you have. You have 100%. Nothing else left in you. Like when you don't have opportunity to do that, when something's happened, you on the edge, you straight away picking it up. You try to pick up the fight with someone. But I had, back in the time I used to from our neighborhood, was where I was going to the gym. It was like about 10, 15 minutes walk. And every day I was trying to walk in there. I had people trying to walk into me, pick a fight with me. I just looked at my way, walking away. Because you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Those ones that need to prove themselves to the mates next to them to say, yeah, I can bash this guy up.
Yeah.
Mate, just calm down.
There's a movie.
Walk away.
There's a Denzel Washington movie. I think it's called American Gangster. And there's this conversation he's having with one of his young cousins or something. And he's wearing this really flashy suit, like really loud, and he's being, at a nightclub and being really obnoxious. He's just made all this money, and Denzel says something to him. He says remember, the loudest one in the room is always the weakest one in the room. And for some reason, that quote has just always stuck with me. I know it's a Hollywood movie. It's not like Nietzsche. It's not that deep, but it is. I think it's true. And when you see people out at in the nightlife, at a club, or even just on the street, people like driving their cars or whatever, if you're super aggressive, loud, brash, chances are you're suffering from some kind of weakness syndrome. You're not confident in yourself. it's. I think it's weak. I think people who are really loud and really kind of obnoxious tend to be the
I
weakest
totally
one in the
agree.
room.
We actually got a saying in my country. It's just a bit weird when I explain it. Like, those big drum that like bouncing on it. So as more is empty inside, is make a bigger loud noises. Which is the stand for this type of the people. They're saying as more they need to make a louder noise. And I was like, as more you know about your things and you know how good about things you are at, you don't need to make a loud noise about it, or you don't need to talk to the people. Say, yeah, I'm a 4-time world champion. Sometimes I feel shy. The guy came in to do the few things. The tradie guy come into the gyms and started doing a few things, and I was like, oh, what the stuff you do here? Are you good at what you're doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm all right. Back in the time I used to compete, I feel a bit shy to say,
Right, I'm a world champion. I'm all right. I'm just all right.
And the guy was like, no, when you achieve something, you got to talk about it. And I was like, but the background I come from a family. We never talk about the things we achieved. Like my dad told me that. It's like, you don't need to do that. Like, if you are good enough, people can notice you.
100%.
And that's one of the biggest things I learned from him. And I never want to talk about my achievement, or if it's happened, people asking me, yeah, I will go. But I'm not like I say, yeah, I'm a world champion. I've done these things, carry my belt. I'm like, oh, just calm down, mate.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right, and I think it's a better way to be. It's a better way to live. And look, I on the flip side of that coin, I understand if you're selling tickets. If you're selling tickets to a fight, the whole Conor McGregor thing, it's entertaining, it's funny, it's that kind of behavior is just to sell tickets.
But it doesn't happen in Muay Thai.
No, it doesn't happen in Muay Thai.
Because
no.
Muay Thai is not as televised as UFC these days. Like,
of course,
even the fights are more interesting.
I think they're way more interesting.
The stand-up games, the actions, the way the people, it's just fantastic. Like, sometimes when you watch one of the Muay Thai, I'm like repeating that round for a few times to watch the same thing, try to pick it up, get my pens, writing it down, and all those things. But UFC these days is just because televised, and it's just the only sport in the world, like a combat sport, they're showing it all the time, is every week going on. And what you're saying, they need to sell tickets, and they're going to get famous. And obviously McGregor was the first one to do that, and everyone else following his footpath now, But in Muay Thai, it doesn't happen. Like, how many people in the world know who's Sangchai?
Yeah.
How many people know who's Bukao?
Yeah.
And those guys are a monster. Like,
absolutely.
They are being in the top of the game for years.
And very famous in Thailand. I mean, Senchai gets recognized a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. But like, overall, in the world, how many people know? If he's walking out in like other country in the street, no one's going to walk into him and take a picture with him. But
100%.
Conor McGregor walking, people are running to him. Like, he was posting on his story the other day. I was watching it. He was like in Marbella in Spain. He was doing some like things going on, and he was like doing some run in the street. People asked him to take a picture. Like, if Sengsha is on Bukao running in the street, who's going to come and ask them for to take a picture? No one.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting about like going to a fight in Thailand, and I always try to get to a couple when I'm there, they almost sell out every night. Every night that there's a fight on, that I can tell. I mean, full stadium of people, and like you said, there's not a huge amount of promotion. I mean, they do have the cars driving around, like in Koh Samui, like honking the horn, playing the heavy metal.
Tell you a story about that. Yeah.
Tell me, please tell me now.
Oh yeah, in one of the fights I had in Phuket, and in one of the other fights I had in Koh Samui also, they asked me, oh yeah, we're gonna have some promotion, you're gonna jump in a van today. And I'm like, what was that for? Like, oh, you just sit in the back of the car, they're going on tonight we fight in Chuang Stadium, champion of the world. And I'm like, mate, I want to just relax before my fight. No, you have to go, otherwise you cannot fight.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So just literally sitting back of the car, like, it's driving around. They're just trying to sell a couple of more extra tickets because that's the only promotion they can do.
Yeah.
To get the tourists coming there. Like, that was my story.
I've seen those guys in the back of the truck, and they kind of, you sort of wave at them and they kind of wave at you, but they've got the shorts on, they're not wearing a shirt, they've got the headdress on, they've got their gloves on, they're literally like ready to fight. And they're just sitting on the back of the truck like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm having to do this. I just want to relax.
Pretty much that's what's about, That's and that's the only way they can sell tickets. Like, because there's a bunch of tourists going to Thailand, and the only way you can get the tourists to come into the stadium, put a poster and banner everywhere. And in one of the things, like 2-3 hours, the space to the fights, that car is gonna drive, and then you as a father, instead of going to have an hour power nap or 30 minutes power nap to be recharged for a fight, you got to sit in the back of the car driving around, which is pointless. But not for obviously promoter, he can make some money.
I don't know if you need to have fighters sitting in the back of the car. I kind of get it because it grabs your attention. But those cars that drive around that just have the billboards and that play music and with the microphone say tonight, that's enough.
It's funny.
That's enough.
It's funny, but
Yeah.
I don't think they should do that. But that's back in the time. It was just so different. 2010, 2011. I was living in Thailand. Yeah.
So you lived there for 2 years.
I was living there for nearly 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, I was there pretty much. I went mid 2009, and I left mid 2012. Pretty much, yeah.
Where was because you've also lived in Japan, you've lived in Hong Kong. Where was your favorite place to fight? Was it Thailand or was it somewhere else?
I would say my favorite place ever I fought was in Tokyo. Japan, yeah.
That's K1, right?
I fought in a shoot boxing rules. Shoot boxing is kind of is similar to K1, but they have a takedown. So which is the guy can take you down and he get a 2 minus a score for you, and basically you get a 2 point. It's like a knock you down.
But is it take you down to the ground and then sort of
and
do
then
some
the
kind
fight
of...
stop and then you gotta stand up and fight, or they have a choke from the back. It's such a weird style of the fighting, but it's been going on around for ages, and they're one of the a founder of the kickboxing in Tokyo in Japan.
But that's kind of like Muay Thai in a sense, because you can sweep in Muay Thai and you get good points for that, obviously. But is it more of, can you actually take someone down like a...
No, you can't take it down. It's pretty much a striking fight, just a takedown. So for example, I punched a guy, and that guy, Tobi Imada, he was a year before, he beat Andy Sauer in a semi-final, he's my favorite fighter. And he went to the final fight with Bukaw. And he lost to Bukaw. So I fought that guy a year after. They asked me, do you want to fight this guy? And my mate, the guy, he owned shooter boxing in Australia, Jason Lappin, he was my promoter. He was just basically doing all my fights in Australia, or when I was living in Thailand, he was always in call with me, calling me, do you want to mate fighting in this show? And I was like, yeah, sure. So he booked that fight for me, and then we went there. And throw the punch, the guy slipped on the punch, he grabbed my arm, and he just shoot me down. And I was like, what happened? And the guy was like, yeah, boom, boom, start to count for me. And I was like, what the actual fuck you doing? I didn't get knocked down. And I didn't know. That was actually one of the things I learned it in the ring.
You learned it you learned it the hard way, Mosi.
Literally, one of the biggest things I like about myself when I used to compete, I'm very adaptable. I pick a fights in any style. I fought in kickboxing. I fought in full contact. I fought in Thai boxing. I fought in Muay Thai. I fought in shoot boxing. I fought in boxing. Any combat sport was there. I always put my hands up and I fought.
Didn't you? Am I wrong about this? Did you do some Taekwondo? You started with Taekwondo?
Yes.
Right.
I actually started my martial arts journey with Taekwondo when I was 15. And that's just such a... it's huge in my country. It's one of the a top sport in my country.
Really?
After obviously wrestling, Taekwondo is one of the, I would say, second or third biggest martial arts there.
Yeah, mad.
And it's huge. They're always competing in a top rank world with a Korea, Iran. They're always one of them. And I was like, I want to be world champion one day. And in a space of the 1 year, I started to training with Taekwondo. I become a junior champion in our state. And
did you get a black belt?
No, I managed to get to the green belt.
Okay.
So I just only trained for a year and a half. But my coach was very pushing me to do all the kata, and I hated doing kata.
Yeah.
And but I can give you this belt. And I'm like, no, I want to fight. I want to compete. So,
I have to say that I prefer that about Muay Thai, that there's no belt systems. It's not about that. It's about, are you good enough to get into the ring?
Yeah.
And then once you are, then what's your score?
That's exactly
wins and
right.
losses. That's what matters. And That's it. And how good are you? And just leave it alone. Like I understand. And also, honestly, if you are a black belt, it's kind of like, okay, that's impressive. Like you've really gone.
Belt is very good to have. Like I'm black. I'm always proud of being a black belt in kickboxing.
Yeah.
I'm a black belt. Before I start my Muay Thai journey, like I did 2 years of Taekwondo and then I switched to kickboxing. I did a few years kickboxing. I got my black belt while I was fighting in Muay Thai rules too. Like,
right.
And that's how from the kickboxing I switched to Muay Thai because I found it more interesting. But still, I'm proud to say I'm a black belt. I never talk about it.
No, but you should be proud. I'm not trying to. I don't want to misrepresent my idea. What I do like that in Muay Thai there's no belts because for me it's not. I think it's something that I personally wouldn't want to focus on. But I do think if you have a black belt in any martial art, I think you should be proud. I think it shows that you've done...
It's achievement. Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. There's a lot of hard work behind that belt.
A lot of hard work. A lot.
It's not easy, mate. Passing those, actually, course to getting into there, actually, black belt course is hard. And then when you're there, there's like a fucking 10 people sitting there watching you to do this in the right way and watching that things in the right way. Technique, shadow boxing, pad work, do this. And then when it's all that finished, you got to spar with the 10 different people. Back to back, round after each round.
10 rounds.
10 rounds.
With different fighters.
With a different person.
So they're not getting tired. Fresh. Yeah, wow.
So that was one of the things as can you pass the exam of your black belt. And funniest story, like I was brown belt, my coach put me in a black belt course. And I was like, I want you to join there. And anyway, I joined it there. I passed that exam. And I was like, all right, can I have my black belt? It's like, no, you can't. You're still a brown belt in my class.
Wow.
Wow. One of the biggest things I love about my coach, he was so hard on me. He taught me so much. Like my one and only coach I have in Iran in kickboxing, Master Zolgat, and he taught me so much. Since the day one I walk into that room, he literally looked after me, he guided me, and one of the things I like about him, he guided me to the competition because he used to compete himself. Like we signed up for a competition and a national game, he was there himself as a father, sign up. Even he didn't train much because he was looking after us for the training. And that was the biggest things I like about him. And if you win the national game, he was saying, if you win this national championship, you're going to get this belt. And if you win that one, you're going to get that belt. So it wasn't like about what it was Taekwondo, they're trying to make me achieve. Oh, do this kata. And I hate it. And then he was trying to actually bring that, yeah.
Just for people who don't know, who are listening, who don't know martial arts, a kata is... some form. It's sort of like a choreographed dance. So it's called a form. It's not a dance. It's not a dance, but it's a form.
Defense to the offense and
But it's very specific. You got to take 2 steps forward, throw a kick, turn around, throw a punch, back step, do a block. Weird. I did karate as a child, and I remember I got to my blue belt. So I did white, red, blue, and there was like a stripe in between. So it was white with a black stripe, then red with a black stripe, and then blue. And I got to blue with a black stripe. And I remember doing the katas. Katas. Sorry. Not a kata. But the katas. I remember. And it was, it's kind of nerve-wracking. You're doing it in front of people. It's kind of like a showcase of like, I know this move, I know that move. And they kind of watch and they write down the note and, make a little mistake. They'll make a note of that. But, also I was a kid. So it's not as serious as an adult doing it, I don't think.
I don't think it's fun at all anyway. I always love to just jump in the ring, punch me in the head, I can punch you back. Or kick me to the body, I can defend it. Or if it didn't, I take it, I kick you back.
Yeah.
And that's how I like to coach now. Like, you can't defend every punch coming to your head. And you can't defend every kick coming to your body or to your legs. You got to take some, you got to give back some. And you build up that character in yourself. And you're learning how to stay calm when you get in hit. I was talking to you this morning, actually. I was like, mate, when you get in kick, don't turn your knees in. Stay there. Copy it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's gonna hurt a little bit, but it's better than just turning your body, getting another kick to your head.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be fun, No,
and that is something I'm working on. When I was doing a bit of sparring in Thailand, I noticed I did that quite a bit. I need to just be a little bit more...
Yeah, overreacting,
Yeah. Because it's firstly it's scary, but secondly I think that there's a natural instinct that takes over you.
Absolutely.
You kind of want to turn away from it, but actually you should turn into it.
Imagine in reality, someone's gonna try to punch your head. You do this,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's natural.
Yes.
So it's kind of like you're doing a natural reaction, which is the normal human being doing it.
You have to fight that natural reaction, and you have to get to a place where
To
you
learn
just
how to do it in the right way without trying to basically pinching your body or closing your eyes.
Yeah.
It's taking time, like any other sport. Like getting into the fighting in Muay Thai is not easy. It's a lot of hard work, as what you're saying, dedication and this and that.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
I'm sure you will.
With your help.
You're one of the things I like about you. You're a hard work person, and you put in work. When you're there, you focus, and and I love about you. And I'm sure. And of course, you had a good coach. Yeah, so.
I've got a great coach. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. No,
you,
I love
man.
working with you, and I'm loving Muay Thai, and I'm very lucky that I've managed to get to Thailand and actually experience it over there. I think it's a wonderful sport, and what I love about it, and what I think some people who don't know about it don't understand, is the fighters are we just talked about it at length, but the humility, but it's more than that. There's like a spiritual connection. There's a when they really hurt each other, more than often they will come down, they'll kneel, they'll bow, they touch each other, they make sure they're okay. I'm so sorry. There's this kind of like
The respect.
there's a respect thing. I think they like, you're in here with me. I want to win and I want to knock you out, but I want to do it in a way that you're not going to get too hurt. I don't want to put you in the hospital.
That's the things we do in the fights. Like if for example, in the end of the round 5 or in the middle of the round 5, probably you see it in the fights, but you don't notice in it. Like someone already won the fights, and in his eyes he's a winner, and the other person he knows already lost. They come in and shake hands each other. It's like that. Someone's like, that's it. I don't want to hurt you anymore, and I don't want to you get hurt anymore. That's the body language they have.
Yes, I've seen that
So
too. Actually,
shaking the hands, and they kind of like mucking around, moving around until the bell's going on. You know what I mean? Because the actual respect they have for each other, and then at the end of the fight finish, even when the fight an example for that. Did you watch the Rotang fight with Super Leg? Did you see how much respect was in that fight?
Yes, I did actually.
Like they smashed each other. He elbowed him in. He cut him open. He was bleeding all in his face, all the blood. But between every round, he was just shaking hands, still smiling. And then at the end, he was just bowing on each other. It's like, this is just what's Muay Thai. And that's one of the things of falling in love with this sport.
In that moment, it seemed like Rodtang was like quite upset almost. Like there is an emotional element to it as well. I mean, there's the physical toughness, there's the mental toughness, there's the understanding of the game and the technique and the using your brain and being intelligent with your moves, and all of that is real. But there is an emotional connection to it too. Like you can get yourself into a situation where you can actually get quite upset, especially if you hurt somebody very badly, or if you have a big loss that was a really important fight. It's like a full circle of an experience as a human being.
Talk about emotional things. Like one of the things I learned as a fighter I need to do is not just only physical preparation for fights, because everyone can be fit, strong, getting healthy, eat well, training hard. But if you mentally didn't prepare to get there, you're going to be losing that fight. Doesn't matter how fit you are. I had those examples. Like one of my biggest father took it like a big step up, and I always look up to that guy as a father to become that guy one day, John Wayne Parr. And
I was going to ask you about
I was not ready to fight that guy. But physically, I was training so hard, prepare everything. So I was training this. But mentally, I knew I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I knew I have so much respect for this guy. He was one of my idols. I was look up to that guy always for years.
And just for people who don't know, John Wayne Parr is an Australian Muay Thai fighter and probably one of the best.
He's Australian Muay Thai idol, I would say.
Yeah, Muay Thai idol. He's one of the best fighters from Australia.
He's like a 13-time world champion.
Yeah.
One of the best ever out of Australia.
And you fought him.
I fought him, twice, luckily. And either time, I fought on a short notice. Funniest things is that I fought in like a 2 weeks notice.
Wow. God,
First
that's
one,
crazy.
it was a funny story. Like first one, I booked a holiday to come to Australia.
Yeah.
Right, that was right after that reality TV show was in there, which is we're gonna talk about it later. So I booked on holiday. I'm like, I want to just go relax. I broke my rib a few weeks ago. I had 3 fights with a broken rib, so I need to chill. And then I was about to doing everything. I was like, cool. I got a phone call from my mate, Jason Lappin, the guy I was mentioning earlier. He's like, mate, are you ready to fight? And I was like, I'm coming on holiday, mate. Just relax. No. This guy, you need to fight this guy. If you're looking for a big fight to get bigger, stronger, one day you're going to move to Australia, everyone would know you. If you fight this guy, it's a big deal. And I'm like, who's that? Jeremy Park. I'm like, mate, are you out of your mind?
You're sitting on the beach drinking a beer, having a nice time in the sun, and someone calls you.
No, that was like before the holiday, coming to Australia. Like literally, I was living in Thailand at the time. And then I was like, I'm going to Australia, just relax. And then during that 3 weeks I was in Australia, which is his fight booked up in the last week of that holiday, I was literally running on a treadmill, trying to cut weight, going to the gym from all the way from the city to the Penrith, training at Jabot gym back in the time when he was owning that gym. But back into the mental preparation again. Like, I was not ready to fight in that guy mentally.
Sure. But you saw an opportunity that you didn't want to pass up.
I was like, you know what, I'll take it. And that's what I was saying. I fought, everyone was like, I'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. I think I was one of those guys sometime. And I did it. Like, example, this guy. Another example, I fought in Cambodia, like in a 2 days notice. The guy called me, do you want to fight? And I was like, sure. I'm training hard. And I went there. Where's my opponent for waiting? Oh, he waiting on already yesterday. And I'm like, but today we waiting. But tomorrow, guy come into the ring. He was like double my size, taller than me. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to fight this guy. I was like, yeah. And I fought the guy. I beat him.
Wow.
Every single round.
Wow.
And the crowd changed whole the thing. It's like the crowd was going for him in the first round, and I beat him in a good way. The crowd changing, the supporting me.
Oh, wow.
And ended up, he cut me with a massive elbow in the end of round 4. Right here. So I could put my finger out of my mouth.
Oh, my God.
Like, literally, it was that deep.
Oh, my God.
The referee was like, oh, you can't fight. I was like, no, I'm all right. I can fight. It's just one more round to go. And literally, they stopped the fights because they knew I'm going to win that fights.
Well, I also think if you can put your finger through your lip...
Oh, that was a massive cut.
I think that's probably a decent reason to
Yeah,
stop a fight.
I mean, like, now I'm thinking about it, yeah, they did all right. You know, that's actually the referee's job to do, you know, protecting you to basically not hurting yourself more than what you're supposed to, you know.
There was, I can't remember the name of the fighter, I'm just blanking on it, but really famous UFC fighter. It was a few years ago, he had a fight, it was bald guy, and he got, I think, elbowed or punched or something, and his whole lip from here down just split open.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler.
That's right, Robbie Lawler, absolutely.
Yeah. That was an insane fight,
scary...
one of the best fights ever, but he just cut open his lips like a flower open.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah. That was bad. Like, that cut also, like, literally, they stitched me up back in the stadium. No painkiller, no injection.
In the stadium?
Back of the stadium, bro. Like, literally, locker room. Where's the locker room? You're getting ready. Like, it's not sanitized, nothing. And I had actually a couple of fights. I got the stitches like that.
They just pour some vodka on your face or something?
I wish it was vodka. Like, nothing. I was just holding my Thai training hands, squeezing it.
Oh, my God.
On every sew they were doing, trying to put the stitches on.
How many
and I
stitches?
got like, what? None stitch from out. And they didn't stitch me from inside, nothing. And 2 days I coming back to the Bangkok, is a start to infect it because it was dirty.
Of course,
they
you're
didn't
in the
clean
back
up
of
proper.
a
So I went back
stadium.
to the hospital. They redo all the stitches. They put like 15 stitches from outside, 3-4 from inside, like closing it. And I'm like, mate, they just stitched me 5. It just welcome to Cambodia, you know.
Yeah.
And your opponent doesn't wait in and rock up the next day. He's already fucking 10 kilo heavier than you. But I fought the guy. It's on YouTube. I found it somewhere. I'll send it to you.
I'll. If you do you have the original file? Because I'll link it on the podcast.
I don't have it original. It was on my old Facebook, which has got hacked. But
I'll find it somehow.
yeah, it's on YouTube. But the quality is not that good.
Okay,
you know. But I'll send
do
it
you see the moment where you actually take the elbow?
Yeah, literally, he like walking into. I went through the hook. That happened 2 or 3 times in my fights before. Like, I think I got the fights already, and I set up that jab trying to come with that over right hands. They got walking at the same time. So it's like pretty much it's a double force because you're walking into it.
And he's coming into you at the same time.
Yeah, I got that in my top of my head here. I got that there. I got that here too. It's exactly the same thing. This one was like what 21 stitch. Same story back in Pattaya in the stadium. Back in the
You're
locker
kind of
room,
lucky because you
stitched
can't
me up.
really notice. Like when you point at them, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
but
you can see them proper. Like here, that's a massive one. I got like what 20 something stitch. I got like so many here.
No, of
I got
course.
4 here. I got a couple of here. I got down there. Here I got that one was bad. It was like what? It was in a tournament in Hong Kong. I won. That was like a Super 4 tournament. So it's like 2 fights in a one night, and then you're supposed to fight. If you win, you're gonna fight half an hour later. And I fought the guy. They call him a golden elbow, Faisal from Malaysia. So that's all he does. He's a fucking elbow fighter. So I was like trying to avoid him, not to get an elbow, not get an elbow, not get an elbow. Bam! First round, cut me up open. He was bleeding. I managed to cut him in the second round. He got like 14 stitches too. The fight was so close. It could go either way. I was lucky I was living in Hong Kong. They gave it to me. And I went to the final. It was that much bleeding. It was so bad. They stitched me up. They put like a 6 stitch on it. Seen us back in the locker room. 10 minutes later, Mostafa, Abdollahi, come back to the ring. And I was like, fuck, for final fight. I was like, man, I don't want to fight.
No, I think that's.
But there's a
fair enough.
final. And I went to the fight. In the final, the guy, he was just literally throw the left hook right in the same place I had the stitches on. And 4 of them got redo, coming up, open, bleeding. It was bad. I won that tournament as one of the belts I won as a world title.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that night. It was just fantastic. The crowd went crazy. I was like literally over the moon that night.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And
To win
Yeah.
and take such punishment as well. I mean, you see that a lot.
But these are a story. You're saying like, the one of the things that always is in my mind, I say pain is temporary, but pride is forever.
Yeah.
And pain is temporary is go. The scars coming out left it in my face for a memory, and you always remember.
What's your thoughts on? I mean, look, the wins are great. We all love the wins, and those stories, as you say, pride is forever. And clearly, you're very accomplished, but you must have had a few losses. I mean, what is the? I suppose if you win a fight, especially a big competition like the one you just described, that gives you energy and inspiration to go further and to keep going. What's it like when you have a loss, even especially a bad loss? Like what happens in your mind to get you back to the place to get back in the ring and do it again? Because that must be really hard.
This is very hard. And I did struggle with it in my earliest career, and because you don't know how to deal with that, and that's why coach is very important to have a right coach with you those time. And I was traveling, I was overseas, and I didn't have the right coach with me. Someone doesn't know me mentally, and it was just so hard to deal with. I remember one of the fights, I didn't lose for a fair few years in my country. I was like one of the a top guy in my division in my country. I beat every single person that bringing in front of me. Ended up in the national team, went to the Asian Indoor Games in 2005 in Phuket. And first match, fighting against a guy from Kazakhstan. And those guys are fucking animals. They are so good. I was like, no, I got this. I can beat this guy. Ended up, 3 rounds, the guy beat the crap out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to handle it because I didn't lose for a while. And I felt like I got a shut down. I didn't know how to talking to anyone because I didn't know how to describe my feeling. Like I didn't know how to. I just blocked myself. I didn't talk to my family for a week. I didn't talk to my mates because I feel embarrassed about what happened. And it was just so hard in the beginning because you're obviously young. I was like 21, 22 that time, and it was just so difficult for me to overcome that. And then later on in the careers, as you go, you kind of get more experience. You're learning how to deal with those downtime, It's like, mate, it's just another fight, Just get back up on your feet, keep moving to the next one. And then happen again. Just learn, experience it, and that's what it's all about. We fighting, you're not gonna win every single fight. We're not in a UFC.
Yeah.
Like everyone 10-0, 11-0. I fought 11 times in 1 year.
That's another thing that's a big difference
That's
between
just
Muay Thai and
different,
UFC
you know what I
or
mean?
MMA. It's that some of these like big pro fights, they have one a year, one every 6 months, one every few months. In Thailand, they fight every week. It's like fight.
2011, in 1 year, I had 11 fights.
Yeah.
I remember, like, in that reality TV show I fought today, I had broken my rib. 2 days after, I fought in a quarterfinal. I win. 2 days after, I fought in a semifinal. So in the space of the 6th day, I had 3 fights. Few months before that,
That's insane. Like, and again, for not everyone who's going to listen to this is gonna know a lot about Muay Thai, but like fighting
5 round fights we're talking about. You know what I mean?
To do one fight a month is quite a lot. To do 3, what do you say, 3 in 6 days?
Yeah, 3 in the 6 days, literally
That
bang,
is-
bang, bang.
Like the punishment you take for that. That's that's amazing.
That's what we
impressive.
talked about in the beginning, the mental toughness.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like you get to the point, you kind of like, you got to believe in yourself. This is just what I choose to be. I want to be a father, and I want to basically become a world champion one day. And you can't just say, oh, no, I got hurt, I'm going to quit. There's no quit in Muay Thai. This is just the way you choose. And that's just a one way to go.
Is that like one of the sort of the main philosophies you think in Muay Thai is just this sort of resilience to
100%.
to a loss, to damage, to physical pain, to I saw some actually YouTube clip from some trainer in Thailand. And he said, if you don't like pain, you're not going to like Muay Thai. Because if you're going to be a fighter, you're going to go through a lot of pain during training, but also just the fights. I mean, you've got to be comfortable with getting hurt.
How you build up that resilience we're talking about in Muay Thai. In Thailand, when you live in Thailand, every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, you got to get up, go for a 10K run.
Jesus.
Then 10K run finish, you got to come to the gym. There's a 2 hours training. You done the 2 hours training, you go sleep, chill, have a breakfast, rest, whatever you do. Come back in the afternoon at 3 o'clock, you got to go for a 5K run. And there's a 3 hours training. So so many new fighters coming out, oh yeah, that's the old school, oh this is the things, oh that's a new method, I can do this. Bullshit. If you want to be a proper Muay Thai fighter, you got to do your 10K run.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to build up that mental resilience in yourself, the mental toughness. Because you're not going to quit. You done 6K, you're saying, oh, that's enough for today. No, you got to finish what you actually set up as a goal to get to the points you want to go. This is a place I got to be. That's why I got to do that 10K run. And I'm a big believer. I'm an old school now as a coach. That's how I coaching my father. You got to do this, you got to do that. And that's just the way.
Non-negotiables.
No, because that's just how Muay Thai coming from. That's how they train you in Thailand. If you want to be a proper Muay Thai fighter, that's why everyone want to go there to train. Here's the Mackies of Muay Thai in the world. You know what I mean? So basically, if you don't want to go for a 10K run, if you don't want to do that 3K run, the 5K run and after, they're saying no run, no fight.
Yeah.
If you don't run, if you don't train, you're not gonna fucking fight.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know what I mean?
When you say no run, no fight, as in they won't allow you, or it's or you
They don't let you fight.
They don't let you
Simple
fight.
as that. Like they're not gonna, because you don't just fight for yourself. You carry the name of the gym.
Of course. And
Like
of
when
your
I used to
trainer.
live in Thailand, the gym always I was training, they put their names after your names.
Yes.
Like Mostafa Muay Thai Plaza. That was for a while they called me because I was training at Muay Thai Plaza. Mustafa Lamai Muay Thai in Koh Samui, or Mustafa Elite Boxing. That was the 3 gyms I trained in Thailand in that space that I was living in Thailand. And that's how they carry the name of the gym. It's not just only you represent yourself. In one of my fights, like I had like a 3-4 fights win. I knocked one of the guy down. He was like ranked number 5 or number 4 in Lumpini Stadium, Panom, Top King. And they told me like, oh yeah, this guy's got it. So they booked me up another big fights in like a channel 5 in like a main event. And my manager from the gym, he with his few mates, they was like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna win this guy's gonna beat this guy. So they all put the money together. You know, in Thailand, betting is huge, gambling. They love to gamble. And they put all those money together. They're trying to back me up. And I went there, and that guy put me through one of my hardest ever fights I ever have. And he beat me down with those knee, clinched me, dropped me with the second round with a knee. Fourth round, I went down. I'm like, I'm not going to get it.
No more knees, please.
I came back to the gym. No one want to talk to me. The gym manager make me clean his car.
Wow.
Sweep, hold the gym. Or do all the dishes. So basically, that's how, because he didn't carry your name. It's like Mostafa fighting. Like, no, Mostafa Muay Thai Plaza. You representing your gym. You representing this place. And they have a massive fathers like Sayuk Pumpangnong. That was one of the best fathers ever they had. And so you don't represent yourself. That's why if you don't run and if you don't train hard, they're not going to put you through the fights.
Of course.
And that's just how in Thailand work, you know.
And I mean, that must be coming to Sydney and training, you know, people like me who are not pro fighters. It must be difficult for you because I'm not going on 10K runs every morning. There's just no way.
But it's different, bro. So like,
I'm not a pro.
I'm as
I'm
a
not
coach,
professional
I'm adaptable, you know,
Adaptable,
and as a,
yeah.
adaptable,
Yeah.
and as a father, I was adaptable too. Like I was like I fought in a few different disciplines from there to there. I know how to switch off and switch on certain things. Like
That's a very important skill to have.
yeah, as a coach, you need to have that. You know, you can't train a person's coming for fitness fun. Train them like, yo, no, you got to go for a 10K run. Mate, this guy's coming for a 1 hour session only, right? You 10K run, would you taking more than 1 hour to come back here?
Yeah.
So you just got to train people in a different way. Still, I teach you the same skills, still teach you the same style of the training.
Yeah.
I train you like a fighter, but I don't train you become a fighter. No. That's just a different. And that's one of my biggest strengths as a coach I have. You know, I train you the way you want it.
Yeah.
That's why I have that big list. I send it to every client of mine coming to start with me. Oh, what's your goals? Why you want to pick the Muay Thai to training? What's your things you want to do? And why you do this and why that? There's like a certain question. I'll send it to you before.
Yeah.
And through that questions, you answer it to me. I'll come back with a plan for you. This is the things we're going to do. And that's just how I train. It's so different.
You're really good. I mean, and I can attest to that. You are fantastic with that.
You.
But if you cheers, brother. If you but I would assume, because you know you do have some real fighters in your repertoire. You make them do their 10K runs, especially when they're leading up to a fight. I'm sure.
I mean, like not all of them. They did that 10K run. Back in it, I was like, oh yeah. I know what I'm doing. I know I've done my physical conditioning, and then me. Anyway, I don't want to mention the names.
No, don't mention names. That's fine.
So he was like, yeah, and then me and the guy, the head coach, I was like, mate, this is just old school. They need to do that. And he was like, yeah, you're right, and I agree with you. And but I was like, yes, why they don't tell them to go run? Anyway, I ended up they go to the fights and they just getting knocked out in the second round, or they.
And then you just sit back. You're like, see, I told you.
But that's just a way, you know. They got to find out themselves. Is that like a reality check, you know? It's not like what you're thinking you want to become. It's about what actually you put in the work you're going to become, you know what I mean? And for them, they just need to find them themselves, you know? That's why the record is like 2-0 still, you know? But anyway.
So, I mean, I want to delve into a little bit more about the Muay Thai tradition and like sort of the history. I mean, I'm sure you kind of are much more aware of it than I am. Look, I love it, but I'm still learning about it. Firstly, I mean, how long has Muay Thai been around for? I know it's a strong Thai tradition, but is it 100 years old? Is it 500 years old?
It's going on for years and years. Like as much as I remember, it's going on for years. It's like probably 3,000-4,000 years is going on.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty much deep down to the roots of the culture of the Thailand,
right.
And the history is for years. And there's like things going on in like Asia, Southeast Asia, that part, like Cambodia. They always come out to say, "Oh, Muay Thai was from Cambodia," and then like Thai people come and grab them, and like they can't like take it to the names, and that's why they have the Muay Kamar. But I don't believe in it, and that's why they have their own tradition. Like when you go to fight in Cambodia, you don't have to wear like a monkon. They just make you wear that that kind of like a necklace things with a flower. And this is just, but I believe Muay Thai is from Thailand, and I love the cultures in Muay Thai and the history, and there's so much things you can love about Muay Thai. The respect in there, like to the older, to the coach, and that's why I don't know. You watch the Muay Thai fights. There's always the little dance going on before the fights.
The white crew.
The white crew. What's mean actually white crew is mean Y means the respect in Thai language, and crew means coach. Basically, with that dance you do, you're trying to respect into your coach, or respecting to the audience coming in, the people watching you, or respecting to the kingdom of the Thailand, which is he's in the top of the thing, and all the everywhere. Yeah. And this is just deep down in the root of the culture of the Thailand Muay Thai. So it's not like some things happen over a night and it just come like this. But one of the things that are struggling, that's why Muay Thai is not as international as it's supposed to be. Like where is UFC and Muay Thai? UFC just started a couple of years ago, you know what I mean? 20, 30 years ago. But where was Muay Thai? Years and years. But they never come together. You know, that's the problem. The Muay Thai, like there's two organizations, they can't unite it together. And that's always have been a problem. But at the moment...
So let me just clarify that. You think that one of the reasons Muay Thai is not as popular as UFC is more of like from more like a business perspective. Like
yes,
two companies are not like really talking
like
to each other.
Like two big organizations running Muay Thai in the world, WMF
and
WMC.
Oh, WMC.
One is just the organization to have a competition. So they are not actually organization run Muay Thai in the world. So there's the two biggest organizations in the world, WMF and WMC. There is another one called WBC, which is a World Boxing Council, which is they have Muay Thai underneath. But I believe in the biggest organization in the world at the moment is WMC, which is more World Muay Thai Council. I used to be a World Muay Thai Council father, which is the guy he running, Dr. Sakchai Tapsuan. Is a Thai guy. He's been doing it for years. I remember when I was living in Thailand, he was so young, and he's like 15, 20 years now. He's getting older now. You can see they're trying to get Muay Thai go to the Olympic as an Olympic sport, which is they're trying to get into France a few months ago. And Stefan Fox, the guy, he managed to do that. He told me that's one of his goal. Until he take Muay Thai to Olympic, he's not gonna retire.
Wow.
And that's his goal. And he is a guy, he actually support me a lot through my career, and like he helped me a lot. Bring me to that reality TV show. He gave me opportunity to go to Hong Kong to work in that gym. He gave me so much opportunity, and I'm always grateful for that guy. And I can't believe I just mentioned him. He just come into my head. Like he played a big role in my career. And I remember 2009 in one of the IFMA is a International Federation Muay Thai Amateur. I was supposed to compete with the Iranian national team, and Iranian team didn't come. And I was living in Thailand that time. I was like, I want to compete. And I didn't know what to do. I've been training 3 months. I want to fight. And back in that time, I was like, I got to reach to this guy. I tried to figure it out. Found his number, and I couldn't speak much English. I literally, back in the time, I used to have a dictionary talking to the people when I was talking English. Literally. I had my dictionary with me, open it, say, hey, how you going? You all right? Hang on. I opened literally, I was speaking like that, my English. I didn't know how to speak with him. Anyway, through that time, my ex-girlfriend back that time helped me. She helping me to set it up, and I went to that competition, and he let me to do that.
That's amazing.
And I'm so grateful for that. And then he invited me to his gym, and then he gave me opportunity to be a sponsored fighter at Lamai Muay Thai camp in Koh Samui. He just play a big role. But I never mentioned it to anyone before. This guy, I have so much respect for him, you know. And but back to the point we were talking about, why Muay Thai doesn't get united together?
Yeah.
Because these two organizations, they're always fighting each other instead of them working together.
That's so silly.
And this is just, I reckon, stupid.
Yeah,
absolutely. If you want to get bigger at what you do, you got to be united together to lift this sport up.
And it's more important than profits or the way you organize it. It's like it's a very important sport that I think people are becoming much more aware of. Like, I mean, I think it's probably one of the most entertaining sports to watch. I think
big time,
absolutely. I was just in Thailand. I went with my girlfriend, and she loves Muay Thai now. She had never seen it before, and she loves it so much. She's already starting to do a little bit of training herself, and she's absolutely loving it. We were in Thailand. We saw some other friends who happened to be from Australia. We went to a fight with them. Neither of them had ever been to a fight. They loved it.
So good,
so you
isn't
don't need to be even really into the sport to enjoy it. It really is a special experience. And these companies need to focus on that. And just focus on the fact that it is a wonderful sport full of rich tradition, rich history, loads of respect, very difficult thing to do. And it's entertaining. It's every now and again you get a fight that's like, okay, these guys are both defensive fighters. They're kind of taking their time. It's a bit slow. Okay. But like towards the end of the night,
There's a 5-round fight. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, like going on now at the moment these days, there's like a 3-round fights. They are not the Muay Thai traditional. You got to be 5-round. But, to me, I don't very care. It's like a 3-round or 5 rounds. You got to fucking fight. You know what I mean? But that's what they're saying. Like a 5-round fight is a bit of the slow start, slow finish. And the 3 rounds in the middle, like round 2, 3, 4, you go hard. But 3-round fights, they cut it shorter. They just got to go harder because you take a shorter rest, 1 minute. And now at the moment, the organization going on like a RWS, like a Raja World Series and one. That's why they don't work together either. If you notice in it, like they're not just, I don't know, there's some things in Thailand, like when I was used to living there also, it doesn't get together, work together as a team. It's very hard. I don't know. There's just some things about that. Even the cultures is amazing. The peoples are nice. I love the food.
Oh man, dude. I think it's interesting actually.
There's so much things to love about that place, isn't it?
Dude, it's such a special country. The people, the food, the Muay Thai, and just the look, it's paradise, It's kind of like saying, I love paradise. It's like, yeah, okay, well, of course everybody does.
The beaches is nice. The weather is fantastic.
Absolutely.
You can't complain, mate.
But the food is really spectacular. I've actually started to cook a lot of Thai food since I've come
back. I see that
in
your story.
Dude, I bought this wok, and I just every night my girlfriend's like, "Can I cook dinner tonight?" And I'm like, "No, I'm cooking." I'm loving it so much.
How good is that?
I did a cooking class when I was there, so I did some Muay Thai, and I kind of learned how to cook as well. Yeah, but I don't know. It's for me. I've been to quite a few Asian countries, and I love Japan. I mean, Tokyo is one of the coolest cities in the world. But for me, Thailand is just it's my favorite Asian country to travel to for sure.
We can't be friends then.
For sure.
I love Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
Tokyo is my favorite.
Tokyo is your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh look, I love it too. Don't get me wrong. Tokyo is amazing, but it's different. I mean, it's
so different, like very different in terms of the culture, in terms of the people, like a fast rush, the speed. The respect is the same pretty much.
So what's it like for you? Like you've lived in all these countries as a pro fighter and as a coach, and what's it like adjusting to all these kind of different cultures from your perspective?
I mean, like it's not easy, like especially with the background I'm coming from and the cultures I'm coming from. Like it's like a Muslim country, it's very strict. You can't drink alcohol. You gotta pray all the time, and this and that. There's so much restrictions going on, and as a young person I was growing up, it was just so different because I was a bit different to everyone else. I was always a like black sheep in the whole crew, and kind of like moving out of my country, I think that was the biggest favor I've done to myself.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy to kind of like adjusting to live in a new place for me always, like because the language barriers is very hard to connecting to the people. That's what I mentioned. Like I'm very adaptable. I can't like figure it out myself. I'm very good to reading people body language. I see, oh shit, I done that thing wrong. That got body moving this way. I was lucky also. I always have a right people in my corner. Like the guy, he managed my fights in Japan. He was an Iranian guy, and he kind of like guide me through that, how to talk to the people. Like for example, if you win the fights, run around, talk to the people, take a picture, say thank you, arigato. Kind of like they guide me through. I was lucky for that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's just how I learned.
Do you speak Japanese?
Just chotto.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. Yeah,
okay,
a little
cool.
bit. Yeah,
cool,
chotto.
cool.
Yeah.
So you speak English, you speak Farsi, you speak
Yeah, obviously my actual mother language is Farsi, and then when I moved to Tokyo, I learned a little bit of the Japanese, but that was like a while ago.
Any Thai?
Then I speak Nitnoi Thai language too.
Cool.
Then I didn't learn much Cantonese. When I was at 5 years, I was living in Hong Kong because I was mainly focusing to improving my English.
And Hong
So-
Kong, I think, is a bit more international. Like you can speak English. They all
you could speak English.
Yeah.
So it's not like Thailand. You have to learn how to just say, oh, tumpai, kwa, or like, it's just very different. But in Hong Kong, it was just, I don't know. I just didn't feel into learning.
And Cantonese
much,
is I think,
so
would
difficult.
be really difficult.
The only things I learned there, it was about that Kung Hei Fa Choi, when it was like a new year and you need to give a red packet with the money to them.
Ah,
That was the only things I learned.
I think they want you to learn that one, maybe.
That's exactly, because they're coming into you. I was like, oh, mate, where's my red packet? Kung Hei Fa Choi. And I'm like, what does that mean? Wait, it's a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And you got to give us a red packet with like money in there. I'm like, okay, cool. I can do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was the only things probably I learned. And like, so Joe-san, that was like the only word. It means good morning. I didn't learn much. Anyway.
That's cool, man. But that must be, you must be very grateful that your career has taken you to all these different places to learn the culture, to learn the language, to see a different side of life that most people don't. I mean, it's one thing to travel to these places and go as a tourist, but to live there, to immerse yourself in the culture, to immerse yourself in the language, and as a fighter, it's a pretty special life you've lived. I mean, it's not over yet, obviously. But
Not as a father, you mean? You're talking about,
your life as a fighter. It's a very interesting, I think very special journey. But most people will never.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah. So I was like lucky because one of the things I always love is traveling. Like I always love to travel around this country, that country, see the different cultures, talking to the stranger just out of nowhere, get to know them, eat the local food. And that was just one of my first three things I want to learn was cultures, food, and people. And I was lucky enough, the job I was doing kind of like allow me to do that, like traveling to this country or traveling, living to that country. Or when I was competing, like out of nowhere, like I got to go to Singapore, one of the cleanest country in the world.
I know,
like,
it's insane, right?
Like, and ended up, I couldn't go back to Thailand because I couldn't renew my visa and I stuck there for a couple of weeks. Anyway, back into the point, like I was just so lucky to have that opportunity as a father to travel in the world, seeing the different people, seeing different culture. And I'm always grateful for that. And I learned so much through that experience through the years I've been competing or now as a coach. So I can actually, all those experience, I can like accumulate it myself and learn it. Now I can pass it through to my people coming into me. Like you, one of my clients, a couple of things I learned it from that coach or that coach there in that country. Now I can pass it on to the next one, you know what I mean?
And because a coach in Japan would have a different approach to a coach in Hong Kong, who had a different approach to a coach in Thailand and Cambodia and Iran, and you have all these
It's
little
so
bits
different.
that have made you the coach that you are. I mean, that's really special. It's one thing to learn the techniques and then teach the technique to somebody else, but to have it so authentic from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really special, man. That's really cool.
It's very different.
So, I mean, when was your last professional fight?
It was a while ago. It was actually 2015
Okay.
in March.
And you'll never get back in the ring and have a pro fight again.
Yeah, it's actually 28 March 2015.
Oh, that's that tattoo.
That's where I
cool.
hang up my gloves. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So that's it. You'll never do it again. It's
No,
just
definitely. I'm like nearly 42, mate. Just
yeah.
kind of like it kind of like always itching. But when I was competing and then I retired, like I was obviously younger. I retired when I was like 32. Mm-hmm. I kind of like I get to the points I didn't have the hunger anymore. You know what I mean? When you get to the certain points, you don't have a will to train and you don't want to put in the hard work anymore.
I think that's what's happened to McGregor and his last few fights. You can just see.
Yeah, you just kind of, and I don't want to kind of like the reputations I made as a father.
Yeah.
The person's going hard, working hard, training hard, doesn't give up. Get to the points in one of the fights, I got the elbow, and I went down. I didn't want to get up, and I did, and I was fine.
Yeah.
And I could have get up, get the 8 counts, complete, go through. I'm like, I got to those points. I was like, why I'm doing this? Am I have that hunger enough anymore? No. But so just fucking hanging up the gloves, and that's it. And kind of like, I think it was very hard in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like in the first few years, I was still fit, training hard with my mates. Like the fighters, I used to train with them. I used to go for a 10K run with them, and they were like behind me still.
Yeah.
And training very hard, eating very well, and I was still trying to look after myself to be looks good. You know, I was still training hard every day. But you don't have to be a father anymore. You know, why you want to be that person anymore? You know,
I mean, you still clearly carry the spirit with you in your everyday life. I mean, as a coach, as now a business and a gym owner, in terms of your own physical fitness, your own journey with taking care of yourself. I mean, those lessons you've learned and that time that you had as a pro fighter have clearly, that'll never change. That'll never leave you. But it's
I will call it a discipline. You know,
discipline.
The disciplines you kind of like is in you through the whole those many years with you as a father, as a person. You were like going through so many things, but you didn't want to be there. You get up at like 5 a.m, but you don't want to get up, but you're there because you have the discipline. I'm like so many people these days talk about the motivation. Oh, I'm not motivated to do that, or I'm not motivated. But I don't think motivations would work for a Muay Thai fighter. Yeah, we need the motivations a little bit, but you need to be disciplined. If you're disciplined, you know you have to do this. You need to brush your teeth before you go to bed. That's just a routine. You kind of like making those habits become a discipline, and that discipline is gonna guide you through that. And I am a big believer of that, and I'm still trying to stay fit, healthy, strong, training hard. Why? Because I'm disciplined, you know.
And I think that's it, because motivation comes and goes, and you can get a huge surge of motivation. You go to the gym every day, you eat really well, you take good care of yourself, get lots of sleep, and then all of a sudden
watch a couple of good fights, and then you kind of like, I want to do that.
And then you can lose that motivation. It comes and goes for everybody to a different degree. But as you say, if you're disciplined, you get up at a certain time, you go to the gym, you do a certain, whether it's a 10K run. Most of us won't do that, but if that's what it is every morning, then that's what you do. If you're a pro fighter, that's what you do.
I don't run 10K more anyway.
Yeah,
just the probably longest run I do is 5K these days.
Yeah,
and I'm happy with that. So, you know.
Yeah, it's more than 99% of the people out there. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, 10K every morning. That's insane.
Too much, man.
Do you know that guy Cameron Haynes?
I hear that sounds familiar.
He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a whole bunch. He's actually a professional hunter, but he's also he's in incredible shape. I think he wakes up every morning and runs a marathon. Every morning. Every morning he gets up and runs a marathon. He gets up 4 o'clock in the morning or something. That's insane. 10Ks is insane. A marathon every morning? That's
too much. How does he recover?
I don't. There's something wrong with him, I think. Oh, very right with him.
Or it's like that Australian guy, the net guy, the guy he running all the time, like around the, like. Have you hear about him?
Who's this guy? No.
He's very famous actually. He got like sponsored by Nike and like Asics and things like that. He actually trying to go for a charity thing. He's like trying to raise the money to help in like homeless people. That's how you start. He ran from the Perth all the way to Sydney.
Oh my God.
And he is going on. Yeah, I'll send his Instagram to you. He's actually very inspiring people, and that's what he does. And so many people get behind him, like donating and like helping to like what he's trying to achieve and like support him. But man, the recovery that guy was some of the video he posted on his Instagram.
Yeah,
like he come up, his legs are busted, like his foot's like a smash. He wrapping his legs that many times with it, and he can't. The people massage him, touch him. He's like, he's sore.
That's
like,
insane. I mean,
this is just insane.
It's impressive, but it's insane. Who's that guy? So there's Cameron Haynes, who's one of Joe Rogan's buddies. There's another one, black guy with a shaved head. He was a Navy SEAL.
The famous guy. He was in Tony Ferguson corner too.
Yes. What's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, he's one of those.
David Goggins?
David Goggins.
Goggins, yeah.
I think Goggins, yes. Dude, he is he's I think he runs a marathon every day as well. And like I used to follow him on Instagram. Actually,
This guy's insane.
Well, because he's inspiring, and what he did with his physical shape.
Back to be disciplined.
Discipline.
Like this is discipline.
I actually had to stop following him because every video is him running and
Make you
yelling
feel
at the
guilty,
camera.
yeah.
I was not even guilty. I was like, I'm just sick of being yelled at.
Yeah, it's just over the moon sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, good for him, and
Yeah.
and good for him to be in Ferguson's corner, and he's a very inspiring dude. I'm not like trying to say something
But
bad about
everything's
him.
got a limit, I guess. In life, like every other thing,
life is about
there's a limit.
balance.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you got to enjoy a beer every now
You
and
gotta
again.
enjoy the beer. You gotta go train.
Yeah.
That's just to have that life balance in your life. You know?
And if you're a pro fighter, maybe you don't get to have the beer. But if you're not a pro fighter, like myself, just in case anybody was wondering, I'm not a pro fighter. Balance.
Man, it's hard when you're training. Like, I'm not a big drinker when I used to compete back in the time.
Of course.
But like when you have a fight, like 12 weeks, I'm not allowed to drink. I'm always in bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Eating very good, cutting weights. I had that restrictions also for a while. Like I didn't have sex for like about 6 to 8 weeks before the fight, which
Oh.
was insane. I'm like thinking back, what the fuck was wrong with you?
Yeah, well, that's a sacrifice too.
But
isn't
you're
it?
trying to kind of like build up that testosterone in self. Like I believe that like a few days before the fights, yeah, okay, but fucking 6 weeks.
6
too
weeks,
much.
that's pretty full on.
When you're younger, you do things.
and also, it's an experiment because who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
that would have given you an edge.
I don't know.
Maybe. So, dude, look, I've really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you so
you.
much. You're an inspiring dude.
Thanks,
I
mate.
love training with you. Your fight career speaks for itself. And I'm really excited about the new gym. I mean, I hope I'm your first official member, but I know you've already got lots of people kind of signing up. But if anybody is in Sydney and wants to train Muay Thai, please tell them where the gym is. Tell them about the gym.
Absolutely. And thank you first to having me in your podcast, mate. I really appreciate that. So basically, Epic Muay Thai Academy is gonna open on 23rd of November, and is located in heart of the Edgecliff, just literally 5 minutes down the station, crossroads from the Rushcutters Bay Park. And it's just a showroom. You can't miss it. Number 85 New South Head Road, shop number 4. So basically, you can go on the website www.epicmuaythaiacademy.com.au,
I'll
or
put that
you
link
can
in the
find me on
description below.
Instagram, Facebook. I've got a YouTube channel. Like I'm a bit big on the social media. I'm a big believer to like pumping it up. And if you want to learn a proper style of the Muay Thai, and come like in my way, because I have my own style of the teaching Muay Thai. I like the traditional Muay Thai, and I like the little bit of the bouncing on your feet, kickboxing, mixing up with your boxing. And that's what I was saying. I'm adaptable. I kind of like, that's my own style of the coaching. Like I'm mixing it up, these two style of the fight. What's your best way you can learn? I'll pick that for you. And as a coach, I will guide you through. I have like a guy, he want to just be a clincher. And I'm not a mad clincher. I don't know how to be a clincher fighter, because as a fighter I never clinch. I have to always stay away to fights. But if you want to be a clincher, I'll coach you as a clincher fighter. But if you want to be a Muay Famer or stay away, punch and kick, move around, that's what I was good at. I will teach you that too.
And also, for anybody who might be hesitant out there, who's like thinking, oh, should I do this? I don't know. It seems kind of scary. It's not actually.
It's not just only for fathers.
No. Just for fitness, just to be part of a great community, just to do something healthy and fun. It's a lot of fun. You don't have to get hit in the face. You don't have to get really hurt. If you want to be a pro fighter, it's a different story. But if you just want to come and train, hit some pads, hit some bags, it's a wonderful thing for, I think, almost anybody to do, as long as you've
we have a variety of the classes. Is a boxing, is a fitness Muay Thai, is like a technical Muay Thai, is a roots Muay Thai. And also in the top of that, I'm gonna build up the woman only classes, and then through all these things in the side, I hire a nutrition coach. So if anyone interested to get behind the nutrition, to pumping up how to eat better and how to have a better lifestyle, they can get in touch with the nutrition coach, and they can get like a 12-week things and plans and go ahead. And then in top of that, I actually talked to he's a guy, he's a sport massage therapist, and he's gonna come once in a while in a gym, actually set up his table in the corner. He's gonna do some massage.
So Epic Muay Thai is a one-stop shop.
It's pretty much
for
it's
anything
wellness.
healthy.
I don't want to just build a fight Muay Thai gym. We are in a fitness. You can learn how to fight. You can just come in there, enjoy just working it out. There's a lot of things you can do. You not have to just be like a full-on Muay Thai fighter. I can train you become a world Muay Thai champion too if you wanna, but just come for fitness fun.
Yeah.
No
Well, that's what I'm
worries.
there for, man. It's great,
There
and I
you
really
go.
appreciate you, dude. And let's get
Thanks
one of
for
these.
having me, mate.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate that.
Very
Thank you.
much.